So it's the 24th of March 2020. New moon tonight, and we're 1 week into the cocoon at the moment. Other people call it confinement or lockdown, but I just find that so negative. And I really get this feeling that it's a cocoon moment. Well, hang on a minute. There's a lorry coming. So, a bit of noise. I'll wait for him to pass. So yeah, we're 1 week into this moment. I've got a stinking cold. I'm just on the way out of it now. You can probably hear it in my nose. A real stink of a cold that just had me out for 2 days. I was completely not in at all. So I've come out of my first walk since we've been in this moment. Where are we? Last Saturday, Sunday morning. No, Saturday. Last Saturday was the first time I'd actually been to the supermarket, and it was really quiet. It was because of where I am. I don't live in a big city, obviously, so it was really calm. Everybody was walking around with masks and gloves, and it was a really, really odd feeling, like people were scared to talk to each other. The cashiers had a plastic shield around them. So very, very, very odd feeling, but there was lots of toilet roll. There was lots of stock, there was no problem, there was no real shortage of anything, so that was absolutely fine. And then we went into a few days of absolute grim, cold, grey weather, and then I got my cold, so I just didn't go out. And now it's a beautiful sky, it's cold, it's about 13 degrees, it's quite cool. I'm trying to get wet the sun. And so I've come out for my last for a walk and see something else more than my garden. And it's such a funny feeling, just having your garden to see. And I'm lucky because I've got a big garden with lots of work to be done on it, and that's amazing. And I think about my heart goes out to those people who have a tiny garden, who don't have a garden, who are living on back-to-back terraces or in apartments, and that must be so hard. Already it's half my daughter who has a balcony. So I'm just internally grateful for having a garden and for having this small walk near to my house. It's full of fields, so it's really nice. There's a tomato farm just down the road, which is why there's so many vans keep going up and down. And so for us to go out, we have to print off a piece of paper, an official piece of paper from the government, and we have to tick boxes of why we're out, whether it's for health reasons like I'm doing now, or for taking a child to the other parent, or for shopping, medical, things like that. And from today it can only be a 1 kilometre radius from the house and for a maximum of 1 hour. So we're going to have to put the times, which I've done this morning, the time that we left the home, and to have ID with us, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem here. And not far from my house now, 8 o'clock in the evening, a lot of residents start making a lot of noise. The first time I heard it, I thought, like, oh my god, what are people doing? They're grouping around together having a party. That's just not good. And then I found out that no, it's actually in fact the residents all making as much noise as possible to support the medical workers, from care assistants all the way up. So yeah, it's a very funny feeling, and to think, normally this was down for 2 weeks, and so deep inside of me I thought, oh, no, not 2 weeks, it's not long enough. We need to have a long period of time where people really get into themselves. I'm I'm going to walk back because I prefer the walk back a different way. Yeah, people need time to get out of their habit and to get out of watching TV and just sitting there. 2 weeks is not enough to start questioning ourselves, and it's enough to get into the cocoon. And I think we need at least 4 or 5 weeks for this, for people to start to wake up, because 2 weeks is not triggering anybody. And I see this moment of not just a protection from the virus, I see it really as a moment to really go within and really start questioning just what are we doing. Already after a few days, I've been living a life of passion and doing what I love doing, and not entering into the system, and being guided on everything I've done. And I know I've followed a path. We have a jogger coming here now. And I still feel like, my goodness, we're all just in this rat race. Oh, I can feel the warmth on the back of my son. I'm just going to wait for this jogger to go by. So in the meantime, I'll show you a bit of the countryside. So yeah, I've been following this path, and then even so, after about 3 days, I began to think, my goodness, there's so much we do just so we can pay the bills. I was doing everything I could just to survive, just to be able to pay the bills and get food and live, and I was happy with that. I was fine. But it just made me think that, even with all this, it's just stopping us from seeing life. And it's just such a pleasant moment now to see nature, and not to have to think, oh my God, I have to do this, I can't relax because I should be doing this, I should be getting on my website, I should be marketing stuff out there. Thinking, this is crazy. This is just totally crazy. This is just not the way it's meant to be. And that's coming from somebody who's lived a heart-based life, and it's really made me question about what it is that we're here for. And then it got me on this thing that this is why I'm here, this real moment. I've waited all my life for this, and especially since I started my Reiki journey in 2011, I knew I was here for something so much bigger. And that everything I was going through on my Reiki journey that was so flipping tough was building me for a moment where I was going to have to build up my toolbox, so to say, to help me and then to help other people. And things that were, we're just going to buy the tomato factory now, so the tomato farm. So that everything I was learning about letting go of fear, learning to live with little money, to be positive, to always see the good side, to lift up my light. I really feel like it was all for here for now, and I knew that there was something big coming, and I knew there was going to be a mass awakening where I was going to be needed to support others. And I felt like everything else was just building me up to this moment, and it's here. It's really here, and now I know that so many people are going to be going through what I went through at the beginning of my journey, but they're going to be doing it probably very quickly, and it's going to be a mass awakening. So a lot of people are going to be waking up in a bit of a daze, and they're going to be going through so much fear. Oh my God, how am I going to pay the bills? I've got no money coming in, and all the rest of it. Everything I went through over a long time is now going to be happening to other people in a big way. And I just think that, yeah, all this is just going to so come in. And so now I think now it's my moment to really get the message out there. And it's not by chance that suddenly I don't have any work at the moment. I'm partially unemployed as a teacher, so that side has gone a bit quiet, and I just feel like, oh, now I know why. Because there's something else I'm meant to be doing, and that's getting my message out there. And you know, every time, any moment, I just start thinking, my God, well, what am I going to do for money? This voice just keeps coming. Don't worry, Nikki, we've got your back. Don't worry, you're going to be provided for. Don't worry about that. Just get on and do your work. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, all that from just from walking out. I'll just let you show. Nice little bit of countryside. There's horses around as well somewhere. So yeah, I think it's time, and especially now it's new moon coming up. It's really time for me to step out. And the other thing was, with my cold, I started losing my voice, and then I thought, okay, losing my voice where I'm not speaking my truth, I need to be getting out there and using my voice. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm already writing a blog, because I think as well, you know, it's oh God, another thing. I just felt like I always knew that we're going to go into a third world war. I don't call it as a war, because I don't see it as a war, though Macron, the French president, kept calling it a war. That where we're going to go some type of conflict, that it wasn't about guns and arms, it was more about consciousness and energy. And I see this as an inner conflict that's manifesting on the outside, as what's happening now. That we're all in this conflict of, fuck, what am I doing in my life, and where should I be going, and I want to stay asleep, I need to wake up. All this conflict is going to start going on in people, and I think this is really what's manifesting on the outside now, because so within, so without, and whatever we're seeing on the outside is what's happening on within. And so where was I going with this? So yeah, this third conflict coming on within the world, with the mass awakening, and my train of thought was just completely gone. There was something else I was meant to be saying, but it's gone. It's always not the right moment to say that. Obviously going to be for another video. So yeah, it's going to be testing times for many people. But thank goodness so many of us, I think, have already been there before. We've been through it, so we're here to kind of support other people and to show the way, and that it's, even if it's frightening in the moment, it's going to be on for something so much bigger in the long term. And I'm going to write, you know, more about this later, and say more about this later, of how to stay positive through this and how to let go of the fear. But I'm going to sign off in a minute, because my video is going to be too short, and I want to get this up on YouTube, and as we're limited. But yeah, that was it. I want to get this out here as well, because historical times, you know, to have records of what's really going on, because this is such a poignant moment in the history of the planet, of the universe, of consciousness, of people, of everything. It's pivotal. It's bringing the light back to the planet and anchor it on here so that it stays. And it's going to have huge effects, bigger than anybody can imagine. But it's like when a stone drops into the water, the ripple effect it has is going to ripple throughout humanity and throughout the universe. So much more than a mind can think. So there we go, my first walk out, and thank you for being with me and for listening, and I'll speak soon. Just keep positive, eh?